Hi everyone, I'm Fable, and welcome to the party. If you're just tuning in, welcome. This is part 2 of Gods and Monsters. This is our inaugural actual play live stream to promote FABLEDOOM, the TTRPG system, which we're using for this game. That's going to be on Kickstarter in a couple days. It goes live and launches on Tuesday. So we're all super hyped for that. For those who don't know, FABLEDOOM is a rules-light, genre-agnostic TTRPG. It's got infinite customization, minimal math, pretty fast combat. So hopefully you all like it, but if you want more info, there's a command for the Kickstarter and for FABLEDOOM so that you can learn more. And if anything is confusing, obviously, you'll be able to see how we go about doing things in the game. That said, I am joined today by our characters from last time. Ty, who is playing Ardent, Loopy Fritz, who is playing Reverend T. Jedediah Dog, Wes, who is playing Bosco Jones, and Kyle, who is playing Kanji Newsmoke. You're going to see them in a moment, but for now, I am more concerned with getting us caught up, and I thought it would be super fun if our resident note taker, Wes, would actually be interested in doing a quick recap of the last game as his character, Bosco.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the FABLEDOOM TTRPG stream. My name's Bosco, and I have been tasked with the privilege of recapping last session's events. So, before I start, let me reintroduce our private detective agency, Penumbra. We are stationed here in the city of Yespa, and are working together to try to find what may be causing some disappearances, some dangerous monster attacks, and perhaps a few other mysteries involving a cult of old gods. But, as I said, the members of our detective agency are our information broker, head director, and head chef, Kanji Newsmoke, our handgun holy man and trick shot trickster, Reverend Jedediah Dog, the mind and the muscle, and the sweetest damn minotaur you ever met, Ardent, and myself, the best damn bounty hunter this side of the Magnolia, and certainly the prettiest one, Bosco Jones. When we started last session, we four met up at our agency early in the morning to find the door had been unlocked. There was in our agency a Miss Lena Goach, who is the art director and head of the Sunshine Square Dances.
She's also the prettiest woman in the city.
She certainly is. She informed us that there would be a party going on at the Vertical Gardens, just above the commercial district, where we all were. However, before we could head our ways there, she also delivered to us 4 letters. Letters from customers who needed our help. One from Ken Sin Lin, a rather uncouth elf from the farmlands. One from Humbert, a satyr in the residential district and quite the photographer, I've been led to believe. Gerald Hayes, a centaur and close friend of ours. And Velda, Jelly Velda, or as I've been told, Gelay Velda, who is an elite elf living in the elite ring, holier than thou, hoity-toity, and now currently in 2 separate pieces. We all split up in different directions, visited those 4 locations, found that Mr. Velda, as I mentioned, had been split in 2, and by rather unnatural means. Humbert, the satyr, had been attacked by a large wolf-like creature what we'd never seen or heard of before,
Thank you, Tia, for the host.
and happened to get a picture of said creature. Gerald Hayes, who had unfortunately lost his wife not too long ago and now may be losing his daughter as she's gone missing, and Kenson Lynn, who previously provided goat cheese to Kanji's restaurant, but now currently ain't, because his goats gone monstrous. But first they gone missing. The long and the short of it all is that we found the goats had been chewing on magnolia roots. Magnolias being this powerful, somewhat magical-looking tree what's covering the entire city with dappling leaves, keeping our sunlight out of our eyes. And it seems, perhaps, that said goats eating on said roots might be becoming monsters. I says might be on account of the fact that, well, we was accosted by one. And when I say we, I of course mean primarily myself, as I've been gashed pretty bad in the arm. Thankfully, my cohort here, Jedediah Dog, did happen to get off a lucky shot and shot our silver dagger, provided to us by Mr. Lynn, directly into the beast. That beast is back to being a regular goat. Of course, a dead one now. But from that, we've determined that silver is whatever these beasts' weakness is. And now we're just trying to figure out where exactly the rest of these rumors is coming from. We all about to meet back up at our headquarters on the commercial district. But we'll have to see what all we can gather up together once we're there. Now, I'm hoping that our good Dungeon Master Fable believes this is a good enough recap, but if I'm missing any details, by all means, fill us in.
There is one detail, I think, that Ardent and Kanji saw in the festival while you were having that big fight. They noticed the same claw marks from in Jolie Velda's residence were also there by where Humbert had been accosted in the gardens. And moreover, they realized that those claw marks were none other than Regis Flex, that is Ardent's mentor and the person who got all of you together for Penumbra.
Yeah, I do suppose that is an important detail I may have overlooked.
Just a smidge. And he headed straight down through the multi-layered city of Jesper, where you call your home. First of all, thank you everyone who hosted during the recap, Abner Doodle and Tia, and also it's great to see a lot of the same names in chat. You guys are amazing. That said, I think we're ready to get started if you all are.
I'm definitely ready to get started.
Ready and excited.
Let's see what kind of crazy stuff we can get up to.
So we left off with Ardent and Kanji. So we're gonna circle back to them in a second, but first we're gonna hit up Bosco and Reverend T. Jedediah Dog, who were about to flee the scene from the massacre of Old Town, where we left off with not only the goat that they had to fight and kill, but just a bunch of citizens and town guards all murdered in a vain attempt to defeat the monster that only our heroes so heroically took care of. Quick note, or rather quick ask, after you dropped that note saying silver is effective, did Reverend T. Jedediah Dog ever go back and try and yank his boot back out of the mud after it got sucked off right at the top of the fight? Or did he just kind of book it to get away from the incoming city guards before they arrived?
I forgot about that.
He did, in fact, try to go get his boot back.
Okay. So you got one absolutely mud and blood covered boot, and one slightly less mud and blood covered boot, I guess. All right, so you go as the city guard are coming in with their bells ringing and kind of freaking out about all of this murder that has just taken place. And you hear the chaos kind of coming in behind you as you go. It's not going to be long before they start canvassing the area too and trying to find out more. Nor will it probably be long until Julian, the town guard that you talked to, who saved Sal, the little girl, whose brother it was who stole the goats. I'm sure that they'll eventually get around to telling the rest of the guard about what happened. Is there a problem with the music? I'm seeing in chat, or are we still okay?
I'm hearing it on my end.
Okay. It is a bit quiet. I wanted to make sure that everyone's voices could be heard over it. I can try and turn it up a little bit for you guys, but I don't want it to be distracting. Okay. That's as much as I'm willing to turn it up. Yeah, okay. So you guys go down the way to see where this kid ended up leaving these goats. When you get there, I would say it becomes abundantly clear the reasons that this child had for trying to steal anything that could be an easy source of food. To call this place a hovel would be generous. It's hardly more than a tarp over a couple of sticks, and as is abundant in kind of the smoggy, grimy areas below, where there wasn't enough sunlight to begin with before the magnolia was there, and now it's been converted into this muddy, sticky mess. Class struggle is very real here, and these kids didn't really have anything. Out front, you find kind of 3 more goats just kind of staked into the ground. Like there's a stake in the ground and they're just tied to it. They are all the remaining 3 there are dead. With I don't think you need to have a roll for this because Bosco, you have a wound already from the same goat. But like you could very easily tell that the gashes in the other 3 were definitely put there by the one that you just put down.
Oh, heck.
Can we examine those gashes a little closer and see if they're also frostbitten like the monster goat's wounds were?
Yes, you can.
I'd like to roll my gumption for that.
Go ahead.
Examine that. I'd also like to, if possible, examine their eyes to see if they've got a similar thing as Julie Velda did.
Okay.
I rolled a 16.
Yeah. While time is a little bit of the essence, you know exactly what you're looking for, and so you are successful in finding that. The gashes are indeed the same. They're rough and they are a bit frostbitten and cold, and they kind of have this silvery sheen around them. You with your kind of just awareness of strange magical goings on around you, you can tell that there is something very unnatural about just even the nature of the frostbite and the nature of the wounds. Upon looking at their eyes, you see that the same deal is here, and their pupils have become misshapen. They're in the shape of crosses. And for now they will be frozen like that forever.
Bosco's gonna point at the eyes of the goat and say, "Raren, come check this out. These same eyes were the eyes of Jelly Velda, Ardenton I saw earlier today. Also torn a bit apart by whatever that monster was. I'm starting to think, though, that whatever's causing this monster is starting with these, since they hadn't turned yet. We gotta keep an eye out for eyes like these."
That's strange. So, wait, you saying that an attack like this happened up at the top level?
Unfortunately, yes. It hasn't exactly been advertised about yet, but an elite elf split right down the middle. Eyes just like this, wounds just like this, wounds just like mine. Reverend, I'm getting a bit worried.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem that it's just goats we gotta be worried about.
You happen to notice anybody else with eyes or wounds or anything similar in your and Kanji's expeditions?
Well, I do in fact have a picture of one of the culprits shot by that photographer fellow I'd like to speak less about.
Understood. You got it on you?
No, I passed it on to Kanji.
We'll have to meet back up with him soon then.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody at this hovel, or is it devoid of people as well?
It is devoid right now. With the warning bells and everything happening in the courtyard behind you, not only are more city guards starting to converge on that area, but so are more people to see what is going on, and they are quickly being told that they should leave, preferably to get to another higher level, which is problematic because there's only so much room in the stairs, so things are starting to get kind of crowded for going back up pretty quick.
Is Sal, the little girl, still at the guard?
Sal would probably still be with the guard. Julian did say that he was going to go with her and take her to the station because of the traumatic things that she had just witnessed.
That poor girl.
Indeed. But she's better off than her poor brother. Well, at least I hope so.
We'll need to find her again after this.
That
Do
we will.
something, make it right.
That we will, but right now I think we need to head back up to the commercial district. If these goats here are the only ones he had, then I think the rest of them are probably already taken care of. Should we stop by Ken Sin Lin's house before we head back up? Or was that work for another day?
Well, we haven't found all of his goats, so I say we just wait. Ain't nothing worth reporting. You ain't gonna get more goats.
How many goats did he say he had?
He didn't. There are just there are 3 that are dead there. You found a 4th there in the courtyard, obviously, that you fought. I will note that he said that he'd bought more and those had been taken too. So we don't have a total.
We should have found out where he bought them from.
Might we head back to him, get more information?
You can. It'll be a little troublesome trying to beat the crowd, but if you cross the level to try and get to a further away staircase back up, then that might be your best bet.
Bosco has the hostling skill, and Jedediah has the ride or die skill. Would we be able to use that to kind of navigate around the crowd?
You could. You're also both aware that Handeth had been working on trying to come up with ways to get up faster, though those are as of yet incomplete.
Okay.
Well, time is of the essence. Lives are at stake.
Right. So you guys are heading up, and you're heading up to Kensen Len, correct? Or
I think that's where we're wanting to start to, unless Loopy thinks we need to split up.
I want us to regroup faster, but if we need a little bit more information, then we should go to Consent Land.
all right, then we can go. We can get you guys up to Kensen Len.
Should be faster this time now that we know where we're going.
I'm going to move your characters up one, just preemptively here, for our peeps to be able to see where you are. There we go. And let's jump back over to Ardent and Kanji, because they have a bit of a choice to make in terms of where they are going to be headed next. All right, so you guys, when we left you off, were there at kind of the edge of the festival, and you saw that the claw marks left by a transformed and monstrous Regis Fleck led not only over the edge of the wall by the vertical gardens, but kind of down to the grand foyer, down into the lower levels. Like you don't see where he might have just gotten off anywhere nearby. It looks like he was just slowing himself down and falling.
So, what'd you think? We go follow the trail, or we wait for the others to get back?
That's a very good question. A very difficult question. I am concerned that we are in over our heads, but at the same time, it can't hurt to investigate further. What do you think? Do you think we'll need backup? They have been gone a while now.
It's getting kind of late into the afternoon at this point. So yeah, they're well past what they were scheduled to show back up for.
Hmm. Well, if this is Regis, then I feel like we can't let this league get any colder than it is.
That's true. And it's entirely possible that we'll meet them on the way down, but it's a very big city. It's entirely possible they'll walk right by us.
I can leave a message on my guys. You can keep an eye out.
That's true. Will they be able to get word back to us?
We can tell them where we're going. It's about as best as I think we can hope for.
That's not necessarily ideal. We don't know where we're going. All we know is we're going down and checking in on the trail.
I will note, the further down you go, the harder it gets to navigate anything. There are only a couple of, at this point, known associates that you have that know their way kind of around the ruins. Those being Handeth, who is that knowledgeable drunk who tends to help get people to and from the restaurant, but he knows everything about everything in Jesper in terms of getting around, not only at the current levels that are more occupied, but down in the ruins, which is why he is a bigger suspect in the case for Dr. Amina Hayes. There are also the Barkem dwarves that are below Old Town. They tend to be a bunch of like partiers, but they like to get drunk. They like to make whatever tools that they need and go excavate the ruins below. So they also tend to be the closest things to archaeologists that you all have, that know a bit more about how to navigate the ruins as well. Other than that, those are very difficultly accessed areas below, and it is so bad in terms of the infrastructure that the city guard does refuse to go down there. It's considered beyond their jurisdiction.
Would there be any dwarves at the festival right now?
There might be some starting to get ready for things or prep for things, but they're not the ones putting on most of it. So any that are coming are just like kind of there early, might be helping because of community with the Temple of Tree and Egg, or if they're part of the Sunshine Square Dancers. So there might be some, but I'm not sure that there would be any that you personally would know.
And if I remember correctly, Handeth made themselves scarce, right? Because they were a suspect.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
You
Would it be
obviously
possible
know
to
where
use-
he usually hangs out.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could always check, with the dwarves or at the hopefully by the entrance of the ruins, but he might be a little difficult to find. Yeah.
Okay. Arden is going to take a moment. He's going to find a seat, sit down, close his eyes, and just kind of almost go into this meditative state. He's seen Regis do this probably a million times. And just
Mind palace, mind palace,
he's
mind palace.
basically trying to figure out how to mind palace. He's seen it happen. He knows what's going on. He hasn't necessarily done it himself before, but he's trying to connect the dots in his and Regis's experience with Handeth and their history together to see if he can remember anywhere Handeth might be hiding out. If I could roll maybe deductivism for that.
Sure.
All right. Let's see. I'm rolling a d12. For the 12 and plus 7 for 22.
All right. Yeah, you know that he hangs out by the bathhouses, but that he actually lives a little further away from that, kind of between the bathhouses and the Stragons, and that he's been working on a contraption to go up and down between levels, further away from that, and actually closer to the last stone wall of Jesper, particularly on the commercial level. So he might be kind of basically if you guys are on one side of the commercial level with the vertical gardens and all, he has been working on his stuff on the opposite side, and that's been for it'd be in the same place regardless of the level that you're on, but the commercial has been the most prioritized one. So if he's been continuing his work, that would be something that's out of the way, and something that you might be able to go and check out.
Okay, so bear with me here. I have an idea. It's possible that we leave at the office, let our team know where we're going, just in case they do show up 5 minutes behind us. I have a hunch on where Handeth might be, and if Handeth isn't there, there's entirely possible that somebody else will be there, continuing Handeth's work, who could point us in the right direction.
Your hunches haven't let us run yet, so I'm down for it.
All right. Well, let's head
Kanji's
to the
already
office.
scribbling a note already. Yeah, I guess we should wait till we get to the office.
Actually, it would be. Do you have any contacts here that you could? That way we can go straight to the work site and we can have one of your contacts deliver the message for us.
Kanji looks over at Lena and just like a mixture of blushing, but also all the color leaving his face.
Arden just pushes him forward.
Kanji just like very nervously just walks up to Lena.
She hears you, and she turns around. She's like just between like practicing different dance numbers for the night. But she looks over at you, kind of, a little bit out of breath, because she's been working on this and she's been prepping for this entire festival, the whole time. But she looks over at you, Kanji, and says, "Oh, hey, did you guys finish early? I thought you had a lot of stuff to do."
Yeah, the job's getting a little more complicated than we expected. Arden and I need to go take care of something. The other guys are gonna be stopping by soon. I was just hoping. Kanji's like super duper like be red, like scratching the back of his head. Hey, if you see him, if you could tell him where we're going, it's really important, Lena.
All right, so if any of your crew come by, I'm to tell them you went to
insert place that.
give me a. She kind of like runs over to one of the booths nearby. Like she's still a bit frazzled at everything she's doing, and she kind of grabs a paintbrush, rinses it off in some water, and then dips it in some paint, and then like gets ready to paint on her arm. Okay, can one more time?
Kanji nervously relays the plays again.
All right, so he repeats what they do. She goes ahead and writes that big like message like all the way down her forearm. So she has it right there where Kanji went to, and like to tell the crew.
And Kanji says, "Thanks, Lena. I owe you dinner for this one."
You know what?
I assume she's already left.
Maybe I'll swing by that soup kitchen after all this is over.
I'd like that.
Yeah, I gotta go back to lead the next rehearsal.
Yeah, I need to get back to work too.
Blowing at her arm to try and get it to dry. I'll see you later. And she kind of runs back off.
Kanji runs just as expediently, but like backwards, like he's just walking backwards to get away, but also not like. Yes, this is how flirting works, Admiral. I see you in chat.
All right. So you guys are heading, let's see, to the agency and then over to check out Arden's hunch as to where Handeth might be, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I thought they were.
Oh, what was that?
I thought they said they were gonna head straight there after passing the message.
Yeah, the idea was to pass the message along, but this works just as fine, and then we can cover our bases in multiple aspects.
I'll be generous, if only because Kanji has been paying hobos out of pocket, so that he can pick up some of the money that they left in the office. Okay, so you guys kind of make your way through the commercial district, and it's pretty dead aside from everything going on with the festival. Thank you, Abner Doodle, for the cheer. Good job, Kanji. Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty dead. There's not really a lot of activity outside of the festival, but it's big and loud, and as more people start to prep for it and arrive, it is kind of loud. You can hear kind of the voices and chaos in the background just fading as you get further away. By the time that you reach the opposite side of the level, most of that just can't really be heard unless there's a particularly shrill, like, whistle or something. What you find at the edge of the wall on the opposite side is this. It's what looks like some sort of platform with a lot of ropes and spinning fans that are attached to it. It's very much a work in progress, and also, you know, the start of a bit of a dig site to go down toward the other levels. Lot of wood, rope, and metal. Would either of you care to roll to investigate this area, though?
Oh, absolutely. Arden is very curious about what is going on in this area, and not to mention he's looking for Handeth.
Gotcha.
What?
Kanji?
Yeah, I'm wondering what skill I would use for something like this, because Kanji's investigation is much more people-based.
That it be. Let's take a look at what you've got here. For those who don't know, FABLEDOOM operates with these customized skills. So you basically create the name of your own skill and you kind of give it a description, and then you use it kind of as intersectionally as possible to stretch its use as far as possible before you really add more skills. Yeah, this is... Huh. Yours is very much more information based. You have met with Handeth before. So I still think it's the same thing. It's just that you would be trying to infer where he might hide and where he might leave a message for you if you were to go searching for him when he doesn't come back to the soup kitchen.
Okay. So I roll that skill then?
You would roll the same skill, which I believe you I think you named it 5-star food bank. I
did.
Lovely and ironically. And I believe Ardent's skill is deductivism, correct?
Yes. Which, incidentally, I think earlier I said out loud my XP instead of my mod level, but I got to the correct math. Just in case anyone in chat is wondering how I got to 22.
Never assume we ever made any mistakes. Ever.
Uh-huh. No, I'm sure there's somebody sitting in chat. Wait, that math doesn't work out right. For this, I have a total of 19.
Okay, you've got a 19. And what does Kanji get?
I almost added my experience too as
Right?
we were talking about it. That's the wrong character. Wow, I'm disorganized today, guys. I rolled
Fine.
16 plus 18, so that's what, 34?
34, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
We're gonna lead with what Kanji finds. You
Am I just like following a trail of like broken beer bottles? Hannah's the drunk, right?
Handeth is a bit of a drunk. Yeah, you kind of follow a trail of broken beer bottles, and it goes kind of along the wall, kind of far out until you get to a tree, with like you'll note like just a couple of boards nailed to it, here and there, just so that like someone can climb up at his size and age. And there's
Real quick, I just want to tell Ardent, Yeah, this is his brand. Just like I say, pointing at the particular trail of beer bottles, I'm assuming there's just trash everywhere.
No, not everywhere, not everywhere. It's literally just the bottles.
Okay then.
But yeah, that leads to a treehouse.
Speaking of bottles, a hydrate has been redeemed.
Oh,
Everyone, make sure you're a hydrated noodle.
Yep. Thank you for the hydrate, Abnadoodle.
Yeah, so Kanji's just like, hey, yo, Arden. And, like,
Yes.
points at the treehouse. But that's about it.
That does look like a good bet, yes.
Arden's been thinking a little too hard today, and he needed a break.
You did you got to see it in the first place.
Like 90%
Oh,
and then the other 10.
Yeah, it's teamwork.
Yeah.
I can't take all the glory. Abdul in chat asked if I could give an example of one of my stats.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
we were
go
just
ahead.
using, we were just using deductivism, or I was using deductivism, which is, as I've written it, turns out you can learn a lot from working next to a detective, like all the time. Helps that he's used to scrounging around for things to survive too, which is essentially my being able to scrounge up information as well as clues skill. I've assigned a d12 to roll, and I have a modifier of 10. Right now, I have used it enough times to earn 9 XP for it. So if I can use it 3 more times, I can get my modifier up to the next level, which would mean I'm adding 11 to it.
All right, so you guys reach this treehouse. Are you gonna try and climb up?
No, I think we're gonna go home.
Wait, we didn't bring any of the free food with us.
Kanji will be first up. He's dealt with Handeth a number of times. And... Yeah.
Yeah, Arden probably would go second just in case something were to happen and the giant minotaur fell backwards onto Kanji.
That's a good point. All right,
That is a good point.
He's learned this from experience.
You climb up into this treehouse, and you note first off that it smells like alcohol. Second, that it's kind of made. It's not just planks anymore. Once you kind of get past the leaves, it's more of a wicker basket sort of situation with wires and such kind of running through it here and there to operate it and move it. Like there are little fans at the corners and whatever. And of course inside is Handeth, who kind of has a drink by his side, and he seems to be working on some sort of large sheet of something. But he has his back turned when you get there, and he just kind of takes a swig and keeps on working on what he's doing.
And he does not notice us coming in.
Sure doesn't.
Kanji just tries to grab his attention. Actually, kind of want to use my customer service voice skill just to be a little more commanding. Just be like, "Hey, Andeth, where you been?"
Motherfucker! God damn it! he shakes the both of his hands because he just stabbed himself with a needle because of that.
This is what you get for not working safe. Hold on. Kanji just goes over and makes sure he's okay.
Yeah, I'm
You know,
fine.
for someone on the run, you really should be on better guard.
I'm not at home.
I suppose that's fair.
I would
and I suppose
consider
nobody's
that.
found you yet. So it's credit to you here.
Yeah, he
Personally,
nods yeah, no shit.
Personally, I would consider not being at home more of a reason to be on guard.
What do you want?
This is
I'm not really sure if this speaks more to your skills as a master hider or the skills of our local guard.
Eh, they ain't the brightest.
No, I know. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a job.
Kanji just like nods along with that.
Handeth lifts his bottle and takes a swig and offers if like either of you want any too.
Kanji like pulls out a smoke and offers it to Handa.
He takes it. He takes it. Yeah, I've just been working trying to get out of the way. What do you need?
Oh, absolutely. Well, actually, Kanji, do you want to take this?
Why not? We're on the trail of the case. Seems like a pretty big one. Might have to do with Regis if you ever knew him. And oh my god, I need to look through my notes. The name of the centaur girl.
Amina Hayes.
Amina, thank you.
Dr. Amina Hayes, yes.
We also have reason to believe it might be related to Amina, and oh, I know it ain't you. Ard knows it ain't you. I think the sooner that we can clear your name, the better for everyone.
Like I said, not the sharpest, our city guard. And he takes another drink. And like a long draw on that cigarette that you gave him. He's trying to keep it together, and he's doing a better job of it than Gerald Hayes was. But he's not doing great either.
Anyways, the trail seems to be leading us down to the ruins, and you're one of the only people that might actually be able to help us get around there.
He his eyes narrow, and he actually sets down the drink. What do y'all want in the ruins? It's dangerous down there.
Sadly, we know. But reason seems to dictate that whatever we're after, whether it's a strange new creature, an affliction that's affecting others, the source of it is down there.
Shit. Okay, Shit! Fuck. Alright. Do you know where you need to go?
Not yet.
I feel like Kanji and Ardent just have the like anime like sad lines, just like nope.
He like slouches and alright, you're telling me that you want me to guide you somewhere and you don't know where. Is that right?
Well,
We got
that's
a
part of the
trail.
problem. Exactly.
You have any idea where the trail leads?
Fortunately, it's pretty obvious to follow. As for its destination, hard to say. Just down the ruins.
Which level?
Could we see?
There's
how far-
more than one.
He looks at you like you're a complete dumbass. And like it's not like a you are a dumbass among dumbasses. It's more like a I hate that our city does not do a good enough job educating people exactly how far down the ruins go. But he kind of expected more out of you specifically. Like, you're smarter than this. Are you for real? And then, like, kind of sighs because, well, you're not a historian, you're a cook. Fine. Look, do you know... Alright. why the ruins? First of all, why the ruins? Like, who are we looking for?
Right now, we're looking for Regis.
All right, and you said something about him being... What happened to him?
Would you like to show him the picture?
Kanji nods and you ever read the book The Wolf Man?
I assume you hold out the picture.
Yeah.
He takes a look at it and Rashnu's ass. This is It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Sound fine.
He takes another drink. These... I've seen things like this happening. They've been popping up here and there.
We've gathered.
Now, all I've heard is that they go down and down far. It's gonna be multiple layers at least. Here's the thing about the ruins. The only people who hang out there are me, the dwarves, the cultists, and thieves who don't want their loot to be found.
I'm glad.
None of those are good company or safe company.
No, imagine not.
And none of them
choose
are
to believe.
close to the top. Do you know which one of them they could be? Or?
Oh, and unfortunately we do. The cultists.
Shit. They're all the way at the bottom.
Of course they are. Why wouldn't they be all the way at the bottom?
Why wouldn't they be? I'm with Arden on this one. I honestly, Handith, I think we can assume that whatever it is we're searching for is going to be the worst version of whatever you can imagine. I'm just getting that vibe from how the day is going.
He looks tired and he looks at both of you and says, "All right, it's gonna take hours to go down there. All right, you're gonna want anything you need to take with you. You better grab it now." Shit. Yeah, it's gonna take hours to get there and back. It's a long trek. They've been around since the beginning of this city.
Kanji is really sad because he doesn't want to miss Lena's dance routine.
Well then, is there anything you would recommend we bring with us?
Torches, rope, weapons.
Weapons, torches, and rope can be organized.
Pardon?
I believe we have some at the office.
That makes sense. I'll
I got a pair of new ass-kicking boots I've been waiting to try.
You do that. I was just about done with this. And,
Wonderful.
I think I can get it. Look, Kanji, can you get some of your folks to help me get this thing lowered? And then hopefully we'll have a way back up. I can test it if I take it all the way down to the dwarves level or whatever.
Consider it done.
Thank you.
Can Arden take a quick look at whatever mechanism he's using, and see? I'm hoping to use bubblegum and paper clips to see if he can help kind of
Yeah,
speed
sure.
up or help in some way to actually like make sure everything goes okay.
Right.
All right. So for bubblegum and paper clips, I am rolling a d8 with a modifier of 7. Looks like it is a 5 plus 7, so 12.
All right. This is this is something weird that could only come out of his mind. But it looks like Handeth is making some sort of giant balloon. And the fans are meant to give it some direction. The hard part is making sure that it can actually have enough sustainable lift, and that everything operates smoothly so that it can be controlled and directed, instead of going straight up and down and as soon as it can go straight up at all. Handeth is an explorer, not a magician.
Okay. Is there anything Ardent can help with at all? Just considering Handeth is A, drunk, and B, has probably been working at this for however many hours, so fresh eyes perhaps might help.
Well, you don't see a good enough component to use as a heat source to actually fill up the balloon well enough to make it go up. So if you could come up with something throughout the city in order to give it the lifting power that it needs, whether it be something kind of flame based or something magical, that could come in handy.
Wonderful. Let's take a quick shortcut through the festival, see if they're setting up any fireworks displays or pyrotechnics. Something we can perhaps borrow and bring back.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Very good. Let's head back to the office.
All right.
And...
So you head back to the office. And I assume that is are you heading back to the office before or after looking for any sort of pyrotechnics that you can grab?
We're just gonna go through the festival or festival areas and keep an eye out, but mostly going towards the office first and foremost.
All right. The festival is, again, kind of on the opposite side. So it is... The office is between where you are now and the festival.
Oh, okay.
So it's not on the way.
I'll be coordinating my guys anyway.
All right. Then they can... Then I'll say that they can kind of be on the lookout for anything in the meantime. So you guys head to the office. I'm gonna hold you there and then jump back over to Reverend and Bosco, because I imagine that they might go there soon too. But you all were heading to Kenson Lanigan. It takes a while to navigate kind of the back roads of Old Town. Well, no, on the token movement. Everyone's still kind of on the same level that they're at, and I already moved the Reverend and Bosco to the farmland. But yeah, they kind of weave their way through the back roads of Old Town and get to a more secluded staircase back up, and eventually find their way to Kenson's abode again. He's still there, though a fair amount of the farmers are already gone. So he's one of the few that doesn't seem to have too much interest in actually going up to the festival. He's got kind of a deep-seated distaste for the wealthier folks in town, kind of lording it over the rest. So he's still there, and he sees you guys coming back again. This time he's just working out in the fields, and he kind of leans on his hoe and looks at you guys as you come in. Oh, thank you for the follow, Bright Star Fox. And he looks at you guys as you come up, kind of through again a very muddy area because it's getting less sunlight than it was before. I'm glad you're back, but I don't see my goats.
We got a bit of a question about that. You said you bought some more goats, yeah?
Yeah.
How many goats in total have been stolen from you?
About 10.
Great. About how long ago did this start again?
I don't know. When's the first letter I sent y'all?
Well, I guess that
been
was
a
about
couple-
a month ago.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Well, we got some bad news on that then. None of your goats will be returning to you alive.
Well, none of them are going to be returning to you dead, neither. They ain't returning at all, you see.
He crosses his arms, but he's holding his tongue and waiting for you to explain yourself.
Well, whatever they've been chewing on or wherever they come from, they have been enchanted and have turned into ravenous creatures that are nigh indestructible by any conventional means, save for silver.
Bosco's gonna nudge the Reverend in the stomach a bit too hard and say, just don't, all right? Lynn, they all got eaten. How much do we owe you back for these goats?
Wow. He looks pretty pissed, and are you trying to tell me some line of crap about 10 goats going missing because of some magical flower roots instead
Nope,
of telling me that they
all.
done been stole? Like I
No,
already
they were
knew?
absolutely stolen. You are correct. We will pay you for the goats. Just keep them out of that pen, and the thieves won't come by again. We promise you that.
Well, at least you took care of that then.
Yep, it's been taken care of.
That case is closed.
All right. Well, he kind of reaches into a pocket that is far deeper than it should be. Like you kind of see his hand almost like half of his arm just disappear into this pocket. And when he pulls it back up, he has a bag of silver, and he just kind of tosses it over to you. That there's 200 or so. You did investigate, and if I'm not gonna have the problems anymore, then that's worth something. You might want to tell Kanji you ain't gonna be getting no more goat milk or cheese or nothing for a while, though. Not until I can get more.
Well, thank you kindly for your understanding, and we apologize for the inconvenience.
Yeah,
Bosco's gonna
can you talk to the city guard and make some sort of official statement? You guys don't need to pay for it, but like I got insurance that can do that. But I need something on the record.
Yes, we'll certainly let them know.
We'll submit our statement through Penumbra.
He nods and you said, what about the pen? Something about the roots or what?
Yeah. So, Reverend,
Reverend gestures back to Bosco. Oh, no, you will go.
Turns out goats what eat on magnolia tree roots, well, they're extra tasty. They don't make good milk, but they're pretty good. So that's why they've been stolen. But yeah, it destroys the milk. You don't want the milk. Don't let them eat any more of that magnolia. It's bad news. Build pens somewhere else,
Yeah,
and they won't get stolen no more. We
Y'all
promise.
got any security recommendations then for this?
Well, I do know some people in Old Town that are looking for work. Good in the fight.
All right. I'll get some people on there. I should maybe I can come back stronger from this and have goats that eat the magnolias for the meat and goats that don't for the milk.
Nope.
Well-
No magnolias. None at all.
It also damages their reproductive cycle, so they ain't
Oh
good.
shit! Well, I can't do that. I can't be. I'd ruin breeding them.
Yeah, it's all kinds of highfalutin. You know,
It's more trouble than it's worth. We should wait for more studies to be done on that.
Oh, and if you happen to hear any more of your goats screaming, you let us know, all right? And don't go looking for them yourself.
Well, I recommend you find a safe place to, new predators coming after them goats now.
Wait, you said predators coming for him now?
Oh, you know, like wolves, things like that. Dangerous creatures. Lynn, just promise us, all right?
Just
I want
I'm a dog.
Bosco's gonna show on these
actually,
two.
can I roll a philandering check to just tell Lynn to trust us and not ask any questions?
You know what? Sure.
All right.
This is great.
All right, let's see. I've got a 10, an 18, plus my 30. That's going to be 48. I rolled a 48 to have him to say, Lynn, just trust us. No magnolias. You stay safe and keep your goats away from them, all right?
He nods and kind of straightens up. All right. And if you can drop off like a card or something for them friends you got, Reverend, I'd love to get in touch with them too.
not a problem. I pull out my notepad, start scribbling some names.
Are they real names or random?
Of
Just
course,
puts
they're
Vincent
real
Lynn into,
names that aren't on official record.
Paying him under the table, I see.
He's letting Ken send Lennon with the mob. Them's mob goats.
We get back to the community, you know.
All right. He takes that and he seems pretty done with all this, but at the very least, he's glad to know that the case is closed and it's been handled so quickly after you guys did show up.
I take the bag of silver.
All right. Yeah, that's about 200 silver that you can do whatever you want to do with.
Well, I know one thing we're gonna do with it.
Yeah, Bosco's gonna look at the bag of silver and say, "You thinking what I'm thinking, Reverend?"
I got a new bag of trick shots right here.
Thinking you might.
All right. Where are you two headed after that?
Back to the office.
I think we're heading back to the office.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So you guys.
So
Oh, what were you gonna say?
I just want to quip about the exchange that just happened. Okay, so no goats, more animals in the pen, and then they won't get stolen anymore. Oh, okay. No pen, but yes, feed them the magnolias.
No, not that either.
No goats, no magnolia.
Okay, yes goats, yes magnolias.
Okay, you're farming carrots now,
Stealing.
Lynn. You're farming carrots, all right?
All right. So you're heading back to the your HQ. Well, in that case, assuming that that Kanji and Ardent arrive there, around the same time or a bit earlier, we're starting to get into the evening. It's not dusk yet, but it's getting kind of close to that. It's getting a bit, we're on the tail end of the day. But you eventually arrive there. Things are a bit less congested between the farmland and the commercial levels, so that at the very least is a bit easier for you to take care of. I'm gonna move your peeps back up here to the commercial level as well.
Assuming Kanji and Ardent reached the office first, Kanji's been using the kitchen to prepare rations for everyone for the trip down.
Ooh, good idea.
Nice.
Legit.
I sure hope.
And
Go ahead.
And since they're
wow.
Kanji rations, they're delicious.
Fantastic. Please, sir, can I have some more?
I always prepare seconds for you, Ardent.
All right, so yeah, you all arrive. What news is exchanged?
I need to change my pants and my shoes.
Oscar.
I need to get my arm all kinds of wrapped up. This thing's killing me.
Oscar,
arm,
finally
by
work
the
out
way.
for it.
Your arm.
You finally touched someone who won't be touched.
Your arm.
Oh, you'd know plenty about that, wouldn't you, Kanji?
So, Bosco, your arm is like it's getting kind of bad. It may or may not be getting infected at this point. It would, for anyone who's paying attention, look kind of similar to Humbert's own injuries, but it's got kind of these silverish streaks coming through it, and like kind of expanding from the initial gashes. It feels very cold, almost like it's getting frostbitten and numbed. It's almost like it's lagging behind when you're trying to move it. It alternates between painful and almost like it's disembodied. But yeah, it's not doing so great.
Bosco's gonna show his wound to Ardent and say, "That look familiar to you, Ardent?"
Reverend's gonna set a bottle of whiskey for him down.
Oh, Reverend, I
What
misjudged you.
Magnolia happened to you?
It's for the arm.
Sorry,
Bosco puts the bottle down after having taken a swig and says, "What's that? You don't waste corn gravy on no arm. You need some Wild John for that."
Sorry, what were you saying, Ardent?
I'm wondering what in the Magnolia is. What happened to you?
I think what happened to me is probably the same thing what happened to Mr. Velda.
Oh, so you found
Fought a screaming beast down there.
a screaming
Yes.
beast?
Transformed
Okay, no, I don't
goat.
think that's quite exactly what happened.
Oh, I think it is. You see, when we got down to the farmland with Mr. Lynn, he informed us all his goats gone missing. Sent us down to Old Town to find them. Well, we found them all right. Well, found 4 of them. 4 of them was already dead with the same eyes that Velda had, those little X's. The other one, monstrous beast, pretty darn strong, and, well, it got me good.
Non-killable from conventional means.
We did find silver might be a weakness of it, though. Matter of fact,
Sets
Bosco's
down
gonna...
the bag of silver and a bottle of Jack Daniel for Bosco.
Thank you very much. Bosco's going to take the silver dagger that Lynn gave them and make little cuts going up his arm to see how far up that shimmery wound happens.
At its current pace, it's probably not going to be too long before it goes from like kind of mid bicep all the way up to the shoulder. So it's kind of progressing fairly quickly and dangerously.
It occurs to me that none of us actually know anything about medical treatment, do we?
We do not.
Not
Kanji looks at
specifically.
Ardent, hopefully.
I do have some bandages that I keep on me, but I wouldn't call myself any sort of professional in this matter.
Oh, I don't trust any medical professional but Dr. Hayes, and she's gone missing.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, usually when Regis and I get in a scrap, we head over to Amina.
But I got me an idea. These goats came super goats, yeah? Something
Are you-
magical caused that.
Are you thinking you're gonna be turning into a Super Bosco?
No, I don't feel good enough to turn to anything more super than I already am. But I do have a thought. There's few other creatures around here what became a bit more supernaturally powerful than their standards. I'm thinking about the folks in the Petal District. You think maybe they got any kind of connection to this Magnolia madness? What's going around?
Which folks are you talking about?
The living
Yeah, so-
flowers, specifically.
Oh.
That is some of
this
the most strange magic outside of, Arden's existence.
doesn't seem like Lady Drake's MO.
Maybe not. But if there's anybody out there who might be able to explain this magic, well, I'm thinking maybe we can find her.
That's a good idea. We should also update you on our side as well, which Arden holds out his hands to Kanji and asks for the picture.
Kanji passes it over. I do. Maybe the Reverend can handle this. Like, even if we don't have a skill for it, I think it's safe to assume we know basic first aid to
Yeah.
do our best to clean the arm and take care of it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
One roll of West of Righteousness coming up.
Indeed.
Oh. 19 plus 18. 37.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, you guys, you can get the wound, cleaned and patched up.
At
Thank
least
you,
it was
Reverend.
mostly surface level.
Yeah,
Kanji
sure
also,
don't feel that way.
while this conversation goes on, does start a separate burner and cooks a nice warm, fresh, not travel meal for Bosco. All things considered.
Oh, ain't nothing in this world but kanji cookery, I tell you that. I will tell you that. Bosco's gonna go ahead and eat up on some of that cookery and ask for another shot of whiskey.
It's just gonna go
So
into
while you're
the
eating-
second half of this game.
The last
just
one.
drunk.
Oh, whoever's bartending, would you pour me about 3 shots of Law Dodger, maybe a couple of split mugs of Bumblebee.
You get one
Anybody
last
got one
shot.
of them fancy chalices, corn gravy, maybe, coffee varnish. Somebody bring me a coffee varnish in a long mug.
You take
Kanji's
many more
officially
shots.
tuned out what Bosco said.
You take many more shots. The only shots you're gonna be getting on the job is from a bullet.
Well, right now my arm hurts enough I wouldn't mind it. So why don't you go and find me a bit of orchard and hop and get it here before I get about you like grease on a fry pan. How about that?
I know you're talking out of your hurt, so I'll forgive you.
Much obliged. Bring me a drink.
Oh god.
I bring him one of the half bottles he hadn't finished.
Before he gets the bottle, Arden's gonna grab it first, and where the bottle was gonna go, he puts the photo down in front of Bosco.
Boss spit it drink out and said, "There's Regis."
That indeed is Regis in a quite unusual form.
Oh, shit. You don't think that's gonna happen to me, do you?
I give it a 8 out of 10.
Bosco is going to stand up and start wobbling his way to the exit of the headquarters and say, I gotta go find them living flowers. I gotta find somebody to take care of this. Y'all,
You
I
can't go
will
alone.
reconvene later, all right?
Now, come
What?
on. It's been too dangerous for you to be going out there alone.
Well, it's gonna get a lot more dangerous for the three of you if what happened to Regis happens to me.
Fable, real quick, where is the hospital in relation to us?
There's a local one like nearby, kind of, several blocks away, kind of equidistant to the festival. There are hospitals on each level. So there's also, one below, though it's not as good, and etc. There are different healers available.
Before Bosco walks out, Kanji stops him and he's hand scribbled a shopping list, and he grabs the bag of silver too. And passes it to Bosco and basically says, "Oh, if you're gonna go out there and off on your own, you might as well make yourself useful. We need all these things for our trip down to the ruins to get to the bottom of this."
Well, hold on. I think first and foremost we should take him to a hospital, see a medical professional rather than. I understand the logic in taking him to the flowers, but perhaps we can get something to help before we go to the flowers.
Well, who do you suggest what can fix up magical injuries aside from just your standard ones? All I can think of is Dr. Hayes.
True enough, but perhaps there's someone who might at least be able to help.
Got anybody in mind?
Sadly, no one specific. Hayes was also the only one I trusted.
To the Abnerdoodle's question, yes, Humbert did go to seek medical treatment at the hospital.
We know which one would have been closest. Humbert?
You were on the residential ring, kind of directly below the festival there. So the one closest to him would also be in the residential. So it'd be one layer below, and that's also the same layer that the Petal District is on.
Okay, well that's perfect then. I would suggest we go to the same place that you sent that photographer to. Because
Fine.
They might have learned something from it.
Exactly what I'm thinking. They would have used him as a test subject, and then you get to be the proper treatment.
Probably most
Well,
probably
joy. Fine, we'll go your route.
And the Petal District is right next to it.
Anji, okay. New plan. I can handle the errands. I'm cooking. I'm getting us prepped. You guys head to the hospital with the fire lilies. I get us all good to go for the trip. We reconvene shortly.
Is there anything you need from the residential district?
Can't think of anything. Rope, rations, weapons. I need to.
Is there a bank anywhere in the residential or commercial district that would be open at this time?
Commercial, yeah. Though you might want to hurry if you want to get there before anything is closed.
I got a bit of gold. Maybe we could trade it in for some silver. I think we're gonna need as much silver as we can find.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
you have that. You also have the down payments from the other cases that you had.
Actually, how about, Reverend, are you okay with accompanying Bosco? I may take a small little field trip to the Elite District and see if I can gather some resources from our help up there.
that's no problem. I'm no stranger to babysitting. The big
okay.
boy here.
I've got an out of character conversation here.
Okay.
We've had Kanji and the Reverend, Kanji and Ardent. But we haven't had Kanji and Bosco, is what I'm getting
You've
at.
not had Kanji and
Oh, that's
Bosco.
true. That is true.
And we haven't had, similarly, we haven't had Ardent and the Reverend. So I'm just trying to figure out how out of character we steer it to get that unseen pairing.
Bosco will push the Reverend back and say, "I don't need no babysitting," and it's gonna hand the silver dagger to Kanji and say, "There anyone I trust with a knife around here, it's you. If something goes wrong with me before we get, me fixed up, I need you to do what you got to do."
Um,
That's one way to do it.
well done.
Yeah, that's a good tee-up.
You sold me. Kanji, lets out a puff of smoke right into Bosco's face and says, "Give me 5 minutes to finish the cooking."
Fine.
Because we all know cooking, the amount of time it takes to cook something is dependent entirely on what errands you have to do later.
Yes. Directly proportional.
Yes.
All right.
Just turn up the heat, it'll cook faster, right?
So, while we're still here, then I want to take 20 of the silver from the 200 we got, and I'm gonna pull out of my gun case my shotgun.
All
'Cause I
right.
have a feeling we're gonna need that, and start making some coin shots, just in case we don't have time. Run into
Kanji
some
recommends he sharpen up the edges of the coins if he's gonna waste currency on that.
Oh no,
Ain't no reason for that. Bosco's sharpshooting skills allow for the manufacturing of projectile weaponry too. So if we can roll for it, we can see how much we can actually get bullet-wise out of that.
Feel free. There's
Can
that. There's
as-
also that, assuming that your characters caught everyone up with everything appropriately, if you guys are intending to meet up with Handeth, on the layer with the dwarves, presumably it would be no small, it wouldn't be a problem for them to be able to smelt any metals down and make them into what you might need. Just as a note of efficiency as well.
So these would be for some emergency bullets in case they're necessary.
You could have bullets made or other weapons. Just depends on how much silver you got. But that'd be a normal service that they would have.
What were you
No,
saying?
I meant among our stuff. Sorry, go on, Kanji.
Just Arden was trying to say something and I was curious.
Oh, I was just going to offer my assistance to the Reverend with bubblegum and paper clips to try and help speed up the creation of any bullets.
I was taking enough to make two shots worth of shotgun ammo out of them.
All right.
For an emergency in case we don't get time. We run into something before we can make proper use.
All right. So with that said, so we've got Bosco and Kanji are going to get what they need and go to the Petal District. Ardent is Ardent and the Reverend, are they still sticking together to go up, you said, to the Elite District and probably see if there were any resources they could get from them?
So I think what we can do is we can try and grab some of Kanji's shopping list along the way to the Elite District, and then hit up Mara for some help and resources.
Well, I will note the things that were listed, things like weapons and rope, wouldn't be uncommon things for a thieves guild to have.
Yes.
That
We're
you
looking
might
for the
not have to
uncommon.
buy elsewhere. Wink wonk.
Well, yeah.
So you're thinking we pick up something at the Cardinal Company?
Yeah, you might be able to save yourself some trips that way. If you're already going somewhere to get resources.
I
Like I said,
I would-
anything would have been out of the way, and anything we wouldn't have been able to get from Mara.
Yeah. I mean, you can still get anything else that like they don't have like on the same trip if you're just stopping in between. I'll allow that.
Yeah, we'll hit up Mara first, and then see if there's anything left on the list.
On that note, like I'd say Kanji's list is a little bit more itemized than like quote weapons. Like I'd say if Kanji's being the director / like man in the chair, like he knows roughly how much munitions our two gunmen go through. He can think of like other. He'd be like looking for actual like silver tip points for his shoes as a thing on there.
Gotcha.
Stuff like that.
So pretty much anything we can find along the way that we can work into armor, weapons, really anything to make ourselves more powerful than we currently are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and also probably turning some of this platinum into silver by the bank.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Go team break. I mean, as in like we split our ways.
Yeah, I think
Clap.
so.
I think so.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, we got to get to the bank.
Let's start with let's do Ardent and the Reverend, and then Bosco and Kanji. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds good.
to me.
All right.
Sure.
So Ardent and the Reverend make their way back up to the elite district. Then.
Yeah.
Um.
You said we had to hit up the bank before it closed because it was closing soon.
Yeah. I mean,
as well.
there would also you could also potentially get money exchanged up top because money passes more often up there than it does down where you are.
True.
Let me get these all. Let's see. And
Are they
you guys
taking
were-
all of the money?
I was not taking anyone's money. I already have 5 platinum from my payment, or from the payment from Mara, so I figured that would be more than enough.
Bosco had 36 gold, which I imagine he would have given willingly since it was his idea.
I only took the 20 silver for the ammunition and gave the rest back to Kanji.
So Kanji's got 180 silver. Ardent has 5 platinum and 36 gold. I think that's our divvy. All right.
Yeah.
I think I should probably safely make it 170 to pay myself back for the pocket change I had to use last game.
All right. Let's do this. The bank is a very, very, very quick exchange. You get the feeling that they don't really want to be here any longer than they absolutely have to because they, like everyone else, want to get to the festival. So like you effectively walk into the door, they get what you want and get you out as soon as possible to get you to the elite ring.
I mean, that works for us.
That said, same thing goes for like you get less hassling on the way through the gates, and of course you get back to the Velda residence, where this time Mara Kor ends up opening the door before you have reached it. Her way of carrying herself is kind of automatically adjusted because she already knows you and is aware of the Reverend's presence and past. So did you find anything?
Sadly, yes. It's not encouraging news. It seems that some people and other creatures are being transformed into monstrous beasts and attacking others. We don't know if they're directed or not, although the case here with Vado implies that at least some of them are being directed. rather worryingly, we got a photograph of one of the creatures, and it seems likely that the one that struck here at Velda, sorry, I said Varda, Velda, um, could have been Regis.
That makes sense. They're awful.
We're still not sure if he was in total control of his actions.
I can imagine not.
But we're following his last leads.
All right, so you know that you know the connection between the Cardinal Company. Do you know exactly what the deal is between the Cardinal Company and the cult? Like,
I'm afraid not yet.
damn.
Our next step is to actually try and seek out the cult in the ruins down below. We have a guide.
Okay.
Right now, we're preparing for munitions, weapons, resources to actually make the dangerous journey down.
She nods and leads you right in. She takes you a different route through the mansion. Kind of back and back and back to the far end of it. And she opens up a door, and it is just an entire armory. With not only traditional weapons, but some more specific items for thievery as well. Is there anything in particular that you are going to look for?
I ask Mara, I don't suppose anything in here is silvered by any chance, or made of silver completely.
Not really, no. Not really. There's some enchanted stuff, and I imagine that usually we have the dwarves take care of anything that we have, you know, refinished.
Fair. It's fair.
Do you have any exotic ammunition, as well as anything that can be used to bind or subdue a subject?
She goes over to one particular gun on the wall, and she takes it down. This can shoot nets that are made of wire. Now, if you wanted, you said you need this to be silver to work on those
That's the only thing we found
aberrations.
information of.
I see.
Um,
The
For-
dwarves might be
for
able
lethal.
to weave something that could capture. There's one other. So you said exotic weapons?
Or ammunition?
I see. I mean, besides golden bullets, not much. She
golden bullets?
well, for when you want to particularly flashily put someone down.
I see.
She walks over and she takes a rather plain revolver down. And it's been kind of it has this strange harness around it. And this like compass that has been put into the harness. And she holds it out and she says, "This will never miss." And it does other things too, depending. Sometimes.
I love just the idea of other things.
This will never miss, and it also provides a fantastic ketchup. You need some for your fries.
Turn it upside down, and it makes margaritas.
Ooh.
It'll never miss, but the sixth chamber only releases a flag that says bang.
The other guy is
Mysteriously,
thinking
the
to
target
himself,
explodes.
that boss.
Zelda found it particularly useful in shutting down more technological challenges as far as I'm concerned, or security, and occasionally subduing modified individuals. I believe it uses some sort of electrical current.
Very interesting.
Much
indeed.
obliged.
Well, I definitely think that should go to you, Reverend.
It's not like I missed much to begin with. But yes, this will prove very useful.
Well, other than that, I would say any other enchanted weaponry might be of aid. If we can't use silver, I'm sure enchanted may be able to do something to a similar effect.
What sort of fighters do you have?
Well, we could use boots for kanji.
Yes,
Kanji.
Kanji
Yes, okay.
is somebody
Boots.
who likes to use their feet.
Well, I have
That is-
a particular. She walks over and she. These are like kind of steel-toed, like black goth-y looking boots with like
Love
kind
it.
of these metal thin pipes kind of around the bottoms. And like they've got some sort of weird mechanism on the bottom of them. Now, Velvet found these particularly useful for getting up to places where he would otherwise have trouble. They're also good for kicking.
Boots.
Well, that sounds
boots,
perfect then,
boots,
actually.
boots.
That will serve our purposes nicely.
We do have another sharpshooter in the group, and then we have myself. And as you know, I tend to be a bit more hands-on, although I do carry a gun too.
I see. Well, let's see. She looks at the net thing, and so does your other sharpshooter have any sort of particular interests or?
Girls.
Whiskey.
Fashion.
I'm gonna wait for the Reverend and Arden's answers.
Sorry, I need a moment to catch my breath after those. Well, let's see.
Well,
They are a bounty hunter, although they don't have a problem with actually shooting their bounty, usually.
So,
The
money,
net one
huh?
might be. Yes, money. Money is certainly a motivator for them, I believe.
Well, she goes off and finds this other, it's more like it started as a rifle and is clearly not a rifle anymore. It's shorter, and the barrel has been kind of sawed into more laterally. This shoots coins when we're running low on things.
That sounds
Frank-
wonderful.
frankly,
It's good
perfect.
for when people when you don't want to leave conventional evidence behind.
Say when someone wins a lawsuit.
I mean,
I
Drop
am
a stack on them.
far more about the guild than I ever thought I would.
if you need more specific things, or if you find out more about how the Cardinal Company and the cult are connected, that should help me narrow down exactly what you might need and who should be following up on certain aspects of this job.
Do you know of anyone that's shown particular interest in the newly growing magnolia flowers?
Well, I know that the Cardinal Company has been paying for more research for it. I mean, obvious things like the hospital and trying to see if they were good for curing anything. And of course they study magic in general, and the magnolia appeared one day very mysteriously, so it's a strange thing. I am vaguely aware that I don't know besides that. That's the only thing that makes sense to me in terms of studying it. Maybe there's a particular connection in the Petal District by the name of Lady Drake. She might have studied these a bit more.
Well, fortunately,
Reverend looks over to gives a glance to Ardent.
Fortunately, our other half is already on the way.
Very well. Is there anything else I can do to help you?
No, you have been a joy and a wonder. Thank you very much.
If you need somewhere safe to stay, this home is enchanted. And if you need help, myself and the other members of the guild are still seeking recompense for this.
Indeed. Well, we are certainly working on it.
Your hospitality is greatly appreciated. I wish we could enjoy it under happier times.
Indeed.
With that, is that all you guys do, or are you heading back out, or?
I believe so. Well, we're gonna get rope as well.
Gotcha.
I
Well,
assume
that-
there's rope here.
Oh, certainly. Rope, grappling stuff, you know, all the basic thief stuffs.
Oh, anything that
You-
can see in the dark without projecting light.
Yes, actually. She moves over to like a side room, and grabs a pair of goggles, and they're like really thick metal rimmed things, with again like very thick kind of violet lenses. These were helpful on a lot of stakeouts and missions in the night.
I suppose there's any more of those.
No, she goes back and she grabs a few more. It seems like something that might have been lost and broken on several occasions. They're one of those things that they just have tons of for all the people in the guild.
Absolutely lovely.
They're pretty standard in the field.
These to my notes real quick. Okay. I do believe that is everything. But if you shan't hear from us, just know that we are heading down to the ruins, lowermost level, to investigate the cult.
The cult.
That way, should anybody follow suit in an investigation, that's where we left off.
I see. Well, all right. Very well. I
hope we do return, but just in case we don't.
Yeah. She seems to be considering what she's been told, and especially your questions about the magnolias. But she leaves it at that. And unless she's going to be pressed more, then she's just going to kind of ponder it.
To the best of your ability. Please enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yes, well. I don't have an interest in the festivities tonight, but
Quite
maybe
understandable.
another time.
Indeed. Sadly, I don't know if we'll be enjoying it ourselves.
She kind of nods and just understandingly, she doesn't really say anything more to it. Doesn't really feel the need to. Okay, so are you guys going to... Where are you guys going to head? Are you going to start your way down all the way to the bottom, or is there anything
Actually,
else?
real quick, do we know where the Cardinal Company operates?
The Cardinal Company would be here. on this district. It'd be closer to the gates into the elite.
I'd say we might want to stop off there, he suggests to the Reverend.
You got something in mind?
Well, they do have a connection with the cult, it seems. I can't remember if Ardent filled him in on the details before, but he does so now from the first visit to Mara with Bosco.
I see. So you want to shake some trees, see what falls out.
Exactly what I'm thinking. I don't think we'll get too much information, especially not with a hasty visit and trying to meet up with the rest of our team. Although, what do you think? Do you think we'd be playing our hand a little too early?
That's a good question. But
I mean, the Cardinal Company is in general where people want to go when they want to know something.
Mhm.
So like
No.
it is something that you could feasibly go to, and as long as you kind of try and keep a low profile, that you could theoretically you could maintain a low profile. It's possible.
How
no,
about
I
this?
like your instincts. There's ways we can play this.
I was thinking the same thing. Perhaps we investigate on behalf of Ken Sen Len. Investigating further on the Magnolia routes and seeing if they've turned up anything in their own. Or if anybody's turned up information to them.
Regis is rubbing off on you.
Okay,
You're just
so
saying.
you guys head to the Cardinal Company.
We can switch over to the other side, by the way.
Yeah. I'm actually thinking we're going to get you there, take a really short break just to, like, if anyone needs to get more water or food or take a bathroom break really quick, and then probably be back, within 5 to 10 minutes or so. So I was just going to have you guys arrive, and then when we pick back up with Bosco and Kanji, if that's all good to you.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
'Cause
sounds good.
We're at about the halfway point. We're about halfway point.
Wonderful.
All right, cool. Let's do that. I will say this: you arrive at the Cardinal Company, and there is, as per usual, just in this large kind of marbled foyer. At the end of kind of a long hall, there's a desk with a fairly young face there sitting, just kind of waiting to be a kind of a normal receptionist, one of the robes, and he looks up and asks if he can help you, and at that we'll jump back over to having our break, and then we'll be right back.
If anyone has questions about the characters, feel free to redeem it in the comments, and we'll answer that before we get back into it.
Yeah, this is the right time for that. I believe they are set to be. I actually need to double check how much they are set to be.
I believe they're at
500.
500.
Yes, character queries are 500. So if you redeem those, you can potentially, you can have a character answer a question in that character's voice. I will also note one of the great little channel points rewards that we have now is also advantage. So for 1,000 channel points, we can also have a character, roll something with advantage if that happens to come up for no particular reason at all.
We won't need that.
Bosco's never missed a shot. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, I'm gonna hop us off here, and we'll be right back. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. I'm gonna switch our screens over here.